I just finished having a call with an online coach. She's spent thousands of dollars on coaching programs and she has not been able to sign any clients from our social media. She's tried multiple different strategies and nothing has worked. So she booked this call with me in order to figure out exactly what she needed to do in order to get to that next level and sign her first couple of clients. And I walk her through exactly what she needs to do in about 30 minutes or so. We go over our 72-hour strategy to make optimizations and iterations as fast as humanly possible so you can see results much quicker. We go over my exact ad strategy for new coaches so you know exactly how to launch ads if you're a new coach starting from zero. We also cover how to make sure your offer can actually work on cold traffic so that you're not wasting time on offers that won't convert, and so on and so forth. Make sure you pay attention. I'm going to cut into that clip now and then let me know your thoughts in the comments at the end of the video. See you. I'll start off by asking you some questions about where you're at right now, where you want to go, and we'll see if our system is the right fit to get you to where you want to go. Sounds good.
Okay.
Awesome. So can you walk me through what you are trying to build right now with your business?
Sure. So I have been trying to build out a coaching business. Specifically, for the last 1 year, I had been focusing on offering career coaching. Specifically, I was posting organic content around promotions and people who are trying to grow at work. My posts have been targeted towards women, especially women in their 30s, 40s, who are struggling to grow, stuck in the middle. None of the clients that I have were through social media, by the way. So most of the clients I had were through like referral, word of mouth. I also noticed that they were also wanting support around launching their business or launching projects. So just feeling more fulfilled, if you will, going on, what's the word I'm looking for? Launching projects that make them feel more fulfilled. The reason why I'm saying it that way is because I'm not a business coach. I don't have expertise in business specifically. What I want to do is give people tools, the simplest way for you to go from I have an idea to I've launched it. So I'm a trained life coach, and that's where a lot of the expertise is going to come from. How can we get you from just ruminating an idea to taking action on it? So my goal is that in 90 days, we go from, oh, I've been thinking about posting on social media. I've been thinking about launching a business. I've been thinking about writing a book or podcast to you've now done it and then you're off to the races.
The goal for you right now is to just launch this new program that you have.
Correct.
And the reasoning behind that is the people you spoke to before or the people you worked with before, they were all looking to launch something outside of their corporate jobs, right?
Correct. A lot of people don't do it because it just sounds complicated. And the angle here is, so the people that I talk to, I'm talking to them about promotion. And then they start saying, oh, I desire to do XYZ, but I'm so wrapped up with all the stress at work that I feel like I don't have enough time to do this. So I'm trying to figure out, do I want to, how do I put this now? From a messaging standpoint, I have to kind of like touch on both because that's going to be a constant resistance. It's like work is stressing me out.
Yeah, so that is a constraint.
Mm-hmm.
So, oh, I want to help you make $2 online. I want to help you make $1 online. People will always have constraints like, oh, I don't have enough time. Oh, are you sure this will work for me? And so on and so forth. So usually you can solve those constraints through your marketing is what I'm trying to say. So it's normal
Okay.
to have like those type of constraints. That's pretty normal.
Okay.
So aside from social media, have you done anything else to try to get clients? Say paid ads, say maybe affiliate relationships, say
Mm-mm.
cold outreach. Is there anything you've tried to do to get clients aside from your social media?
No, social media has been my primary focus. I did try a boosted post. I just want to try it out earlier this month, and I didn't think it did well. I think it's probably the messaging that was terrible. Uh, and I turned it off like after 2 days. That's the only thing I've done from a paid standpoint. And the reason why is most people that I've talked to about ads, which is why I haven't really focused on ads, is they're like, you need to test and validate the offer before you run ads. So that's been my constraint. That's kind of where I want to hear from you on like Isaac was sharing with me you had worked with someone who had just launched and there I think it was a video he sent me which sounded very similar to where I'm at. So that's kind of where I wanted to get some feedback and just your thoughts on it.
So how much did you spend when you ran that test?
I can't remember. Not a lot. It was like $10 a day. It was nothing.
Cool,
I
cool.
just wanted to explore if it was worth just keep it running, like if I was getting enough people in the door. A couple we last month I had a few posts that did really, really well because I was offering a lot of freebies.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had a lot of people come in my DM. So I was doing command the keyword and I was using ManyChat to handle. So I had nothing less than 6,800 people in my DMs that I couldn't even manage from a DM perspective. But I don't know if they were the right audience because trying to have conversations with them, there was a lot of drop off, so it could be maybe they're just freebie seekers. So that's also the challenge is making sure that the marketing is targeting people who are positioned to buy.
So basically, what I would recommend you do is have some type of budget that you want to test with. Maybe you can dedicate like $500 to $1,000 and have that be the budget that you want to test with. And run ads, like not through like a boosted post, but like through like the Facebook Ads Manager itself. And just run like simple call out ads that say stuff like, oh, if you are X type of person and you want this outcome, send me a DM for more information, that kind of thing. And
Mm-hmm.
what you're trying to do is to dial in the messaging because when you have a particular type of ad, you attract a particular type of person. And from having conversations with them, you see that, okay, these are not the type of people I want. How can I tweak my messaging to appeal to the type of people that I actually want? And you can
Mm-hmm.
continue to tweak that to until you find the right type of messaging that calls the right type of prospect that you want and get them on a sales call and then try to sell your offer. So we can walk through the workflow you had for DMing those people from before. It's normal
Mm-hmm.
to have like a lot of drop off, and it's also normal to have a lot of people who are not the right type of audience. It's just the game when you're running DM ads like this one. So you see a lot of, let's say you have like 1,000 plus like DMs coming, maybe about 50% will drop off. And if you do it well at scale, when you're really, really cracked on this, you probably book about 10% of those people who message you. But like if you're just starting, you maybe book like 3%, 4%, 5%, and you can slowly work your way up from there. Do you understand? So
Mm-hmm.
say you get 1,000 DMs, you can book maybe 10, 20 calls from that, just for starters. And those people that are actually qualified and people who want to work with you. So
Mm-hmm.
you can start by running some direct ads. And direct ads is just literally calling out a particular type of audience, either directly or indirectly. So directly is saying, are you a career woman under 30 who is looking for a promotion? That's an example. That's a direct call out, right? And then indirectly is saying stuff that you know a career woman under 30 who works in corporate would resonate with, but you're not spelling it out directly to them. So you can say, maybe if you are struggling to get a promotion, here's what you can do about it. That's an indirect call out. So you want to use direct ads like that, either direct call outs or indirect call outs. You state what your offer is. I'm going to help you achieve XYZ outcome in 90 days or you don't pay, right? That's your offer. And then call to action. DM me the word this for more information. So you want to run ads like that, either via like video, via like images, and so on and so forth. Use that to get people to DM you, strike up conversations with them, and then from the conversations, try and book them on an appointment. And like I said, because you're new to this, you maybe only book like 3%, 2% of DMs that you get, but that's cool. It's to allow you to know what is working, what is not, fine tune your messaging to get the right type of people. And once you start taking those sales calls, you get your first, second, third client, and so on and so forth. Does that make sense, by the way?
Yeah, it makes sense. I think for me, the it's always about the DMs, right? So maybe tell me your experience about with other new business owners who had to work through DMs.
So you kind of have two options. If you're just starting out and like you're doing this for the first time, I recommend, I don't think you get up to 1,000 DMs just because unlike the freebie you had, um, this is a direct call, like a direct ad. So you're telling them that they
Okay.
are DMing you for your mentorship. You're not telling them they are DMing you for a
For a
freebie
freebie.
of Yeah, exactly. So it is, if you're this type of person, I'm going to help you do XYZ with my mentorship in 90 days. If you're interested, DM me the word X. So you're going to get a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people who are actually serious about like mentorship. You get some people who are going to waste your time for sure, but
Mm-hmm.
I doubt that you would have 1,000 DMs. So I recommend you manage it yourself, like book the first couple of calls, maybe close one, two, three clients, and then you can just get a DM setter and they'll manage the conversations for you. Just because you kind of need to have a proof of concept first before you hand it off to someone else, is what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, and I hear that because the way I'm thinking about it, like, wouldn't a DM setter be more skilled to get them onto a call than I will? That's the way I keep
Yeah.
thinking about it whenever I hear you should handle it yourself first.
Yeah, that makes sense. So, the thing about like setters and salespeople in general is they are usually people who like they just want to go where the money is. So if you get a DM setter in, even if they're really good, and you promise them that, oh, you're going to come to this offer and you're going to make $5,000, $10,000. If in like the first 2 weeks, um they haven't done that yet, you're going to churn like a lot of
Mm-hmm.
setups.
Yes,
So they're
it is.
just
Yeah.
going to churn and they're going to find another job that will potentially pay them that. So
Mm-hmm.
the offer right now, because it's still new, it's going to be difficult for you to find a setup that is actually good
Mm-hmm.
if
Mm-hmm.
you haven't like proven, if you don't have like a proof of concept yet, if you
The
can't
proof of
guarantee that,
concept.
oh, you would book 20 calls a week and that will lead to 5 sales for me, which would lead to X amount of money for you. If you can't like lay that out properly, then you're not going to get quality sellers in the door. So
Okay.
that's why I recommend you get that proof of concept so that
Yeah.
you can get more quality sellers in the door. Do you have like any additional questions?
Yeah, I did have a question. Like, I'm wondering why you're recommending DM versus straight to sales page.
The reason why I'm recommending DM is so that you can get real-time feedback. So if you're sending someone to sales page, there's no way to communicate with that person to know, okay, why didn't you book a call? Or to know, okay, are you even the right type of person that I'm looking for? And so on and so
Mm-hmm.
forth. So there's no way for you to gauge all of that until you get them on a sales call. Do you see what I mean? That's when you
Mm-hmm.
can do that. So if you start with a sales page and you're not booking any calls, you have no feedback to iterate your marketing. So you're just basically running blind. So it's not like you're going to do DM forever. Once you book like 30-ish calls and you've closed a few clients, you're going to go through your call recordings, see the common pain points they're experiencing, and then now use that to build a VSL funnel that will get people to book calls directly with you without the DMs. So the DM thing is just to get real-time feedback in the early stages so that you can get all the feedback that you need and then use that to iterate your messaging, book yourself about 15 to 30 plus calls. And then once you book 30 calls, speak to 30 people, you have all those sales call recordings. You can now take all of that into like Claude or any AI, or you can go through the calls yourself so as well. And then you see the common pain points, you see the common objections, you see the common doubts, common everything, and now use that information to build your VSL. And then you can now start driving traffic straight to the VSL and just cut out the DM completely.
Okay, that makes sense. And from a testing perspective, how long do you see folks needing to test for before they start to see some traction?
That varies depending program you're going to launch. How much do you want to charge for that?
So it's going to be 3K beta and 5K original price. So I was thinking after first five closes, I'm gonna raise it to five once I feel like I have enough proof of concept.
Gotcha. So if it's $3,000 and you're just starting out for the first time, I'll
Mm-hmm.
recommend that you see like the first, it depends on how aggressive or what your risk appetite is, to be honest. But if I was in your shoes, I would just
Mm-hmm.
aim to break even on my ad spend. Um, for my first 5 clients, pretty much. Which means that you would like not make any money on the first 5 clients, but that will get you so much data so much fast that when you get out of that like first 5 clients bubble, you can now start to see some profits on this real quick. So what I mean by
Mm-hmm.
breaking even is say you charge $3,000 for example. you can keep spending ads until you get like your first client, as long as you haven't spent more than $3,000. And then when you get that first client, basically pour all the money back into ads, pour all the money back into ads, at least for your first 5 clients, just so you can get data as quickly as possible. Because you can spend very little budget and it will take you like 6 months to get the data that you need. Or you can just compress the timeline and get that data in 1 month. And then from that point forward, you're just good to go. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
that's what I would recommend, but like it depends on your risk appetite. So you can start with like 50% of 3K. You can start like you can test up to 1.5 to see if that will get you any clients.
Mm-hmm.
You can do like 1/3. It all depends on your risk appetite and like how quickly you want to get that data. But if I was in your shoes, I would literally just spend like the entire budget on trying to get that first client. And once you get that first client, you can reinvest all the money back into ads again, at least for the first 5 to 10 clients. And then once you're out of that bubble, you can now have a lot of data. You can now start spending your budget more reasonably, and then you can continue to
Mm-hmm.
scale from that point forward.
Yeah, risk appetite, maybe you can call it that. I've just invested so much that I don't mind investing where I can actually see that there will be an ROI. I think for me, that's the biggest thing is like in your experience, all the people you've worked with, what I'm thinking in my head is there a world where I spend another $1,500 or $3,000 and this does not work? That's
Cool.
what's going on in my head. Yeah.
So usually the misconception when it comes to like launching anything is the thing that you launch is usually not the thing that works, right? Like what works is once you get feedback from the first thing you launch, taking
Mm-hmm.
that feedback, making iterations to it, and then going back to the marketplace to test again. And then you keep testing, testing, testing until you find something that works. And then that's when you now just start, like, that's when you start doing more of the thing. Do you understand what I
Okay.
mean? So, say for example, say you're spending like $100 a day, for example, on ads.
Mm-hmm.
From your first day, you would get a ton of DMs, and that will give you some feedback. So literally from the second day, I would recommend like 72 hours. We call it like the 72-hour rule. So let's say you wait like 1 to 2 days, and then you get all these DMs. You see like the common threads. You see what people are saying. You see if that message is attracting the right type of people, and then you would go back and iterate it, and then you test again, and then you get some more feedback. You go back and iterate and test again. If you continue that cycle for 5, 10 times, I don't see how like it doesn't work. So even the thing the coaching program asks you to do, the boost posting, with 5 guys thing, literally all you had to do will have been just to audit the DMs that you got, and then based on the feedback, try it again, like with a different, like tweak the messaging slightly. Like, okay, maybe you said corporate woman in the first one, maybe it's supposed to be executive leaders or something. And then just keep tweaking the messaging until you hit the one that gets you the right type of person you're looking for, and then you're good to go. The work is in the optimization, and there's no there's nothing that is more valuable to you than getting data yourself,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's more valuable than any coaching program. So even if like God forbid, or even if you spend 3 grand and you don't get any clients, you'll have gotten so much data, and your offer and your messaging will be so much more refined than when you started, just because you're having all these conversations, you're seeing what people are saying, you're seeing what their pain points are, and then from there you are tweaking your messaging, refining your offer. You'll have gotten so much data that you'll be in a much better place, even if you spend 3 grand and you didn't get any clients. So that's
Okay.
kind of like how we think through this.
Yeah. So where do you come in terms of the optimization part of it?
So usually the clients that we work with, they've already kind of passed through this phase,
Yeah.
and our job is now to scale them. Because once you're making like 30K, 40K per month, what you find is the bottleneck is usually you're not doing enough marketing, but you don't
Okay.
also have time to do enough marketing. That's usually what we experience with all the clients that we work with. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you need more marketing to get to like 100K plus per month, but you don't have enough time or bandwidth to do more marketing. So that's usually where we come in to take people like that and just help them take over all of their marketing and sales. So they can just focus on content, they can focus on fulfillment for their clients, and then we can
Mm-hmm.
manage the marketing and sales for them and just scale the offer from there.
So how do you suggest we move forward?
I guess the next thing I wanted to touch on is like the offer. because
Okay.
I want to make sure that the offer you have is something you can test. Just make it more, not saying that like what I'm going to say now will make the thing work the first time. Like you still have to
Yeah.
do that like iteration. But just make it more likely that you're in the right place. I think that's good. I think the outcome is specific. The only thing I will add to that is did they recommend you add a guarantee? Did they recommend that you add a guarantee?
A guarantee. No, they're not the ones who helped me. This is a different offer. They were helping me with the promotion offer. I feel like I have a
Okay.
guarantee in here. Let me see. I think in here I say that I would, if you do everything, I will continue to work with you until your idea is launched. And then in here
Cool.
I also define like what launched means. But yeah, I say like if you do everything in 90 days, I have it in here somewhere. Yeah.
So the first exercise that you need to run, because before you start running ads, you want to
Yeah.
make sure your offer is cold ads ready, or like it's cold ads. I don't know the right word to use, but you want to make sure your offer can work on cold traffic pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll recommend you find people in your space, in your niche, who are running ads on social media, just to see how they frame their offer, to see if it's even possible to run ads to an offer like this. Because the offer sounds pretty good, like you're helping them go from idea to launching the offer makes sense. It's specific enough, it has a tangible outcome, you have a guarantee, you're targeting like people that have money, so to speak. And yeah, the offer makes sense. The only thing you need to do right now is try and find other people who are running ads to the same outcome that you're doing right now. So if you wanted to do that, literally what you have to do is, do you know any of your competitors right now? Let's start with that.
Not by heart. Let me see if I have, because I know I usually save some stuff to my Instagram thing. Let me see if I can find anyone. A lot of people would be my competitors, would be people who help others with like if you Google portfolio career. I wouldn't say I found a one-to-one if I want to be honest with you, because
Yeah, I think the reason is um you're trying to help them just launch anything, but if you say you were to say, oh, launch a book or launch a coaching business or launch a specific type of thing, right?
mm,
It will be more easier to find like competitors who are doing that. So that might be something that you might want to test. So instead of just saying launch generally, like launch
mhm,
what exactly? So
mm,
you can test
so,
different variations of that to know which one people are most interested in launching, and then you can help them with that specifically.
mhm.
So that might be why you haven't found competitors because there's no like specificity in like what you're helping them launch. Do you understand?
So it's usually people who are helping others with portfolio career. I think that would be the easiest one. And that's kind of like from a messaging standpoint, where it's maybe because the offer is called idea to launch. I need to be more specific with that. So you're saying I have to pick a specific thing that I'm helping them launch. Is that just for the marketing, like for the ad, or just in general for the offer?
I think in general for the offer, that's why like it's good to like do the messaging thing. So let's say you start with trying to find people who are just looking to launch anything, whether that's a book, a business, a podcast or anything. You'll find the one like the most common theme will start to become obvious to you. Like you find
Mm-hmm.
majority of people will be saying they want to launch X something.
Okay.
About 80% of the people who say they want to launch like 20% of the things, the 80-20 rule. So you find the one thing people are looking to launch the most, and then you can hone in on that thing. Because,
Okay.
but I'll still recommend that you try to find someone who does something that is very similar to what you do and is helping people go from idea to like literally exactly what you do, just in they're saying it in a different way or in a different type of they have taken a different approach, who is running paid ads too as well. So
Huh.
that might take some time for you to do research.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I'm just like different things you can search like the pain points that your target market is experiencing right now, right?
Okay.
You can search the outcomes that they want. You can just search that on Google, see what comes up, and I'm sure if you do that a few times, you'll find like a brand or a name And then once you find like a brand or a name, all you need to do is just come to Google, go to Facebook ads library, right? Come to
Mm-hmm.
all ads. So if you find, let's say we want to use like Jay Shetty, for example. So you can see all of Jay Shetty's ads. Um, so you see what I mean? You can see all the ads that Jay Shetty is running from here. If you just search how to launch my passion project, you might find people who have coaching programs around this. And then you can see if they're running ads, right?
Okay.
So you might find people who have coaching programs around this. So that's like a good way to frame it. It's just about finding like those keywords that people would immediately resonate with and then
Uh-huh.
searching those keywords and then using that to see if they're running ads or not. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Like,
So is there an indication whether or not it's a good offer if you don't see a lot?
to be honest, yes. If you don't see a lot, it means like the offer, like the messaging is just not like dialed in enough.
Okay.
Because you want to see like a lot of people, not a lot of people, but you want to see like some people running ads
Mm-hmm.
just to show you as an indication that people actually want the thing that you're selling because that's like the
Mm-hmm.
biggest. People have to want the thing you're selling.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
like me, for example, like I can show you like 1,000 people who run ads to help other people run ads on Facebook, and that's
Right.
literally what we do with ads and funnels. I can show you like hundreds and hundreds of examples. So it means that if I run ads to my offer, for example, I will definitely get people just because a lot of people are doing this already. So
Mm-hmm.
that's where
Mm-hmm.
you, especially if you're using cold ads, that's where you, that's ideally where you want to be.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
So you can message me on IG when you create the ads,
Okay.
just so I can take a look. But like
Okay.
honestly, the first step would be to find those people and just model what
Mm-hmm.
they're doing, at least to start. And then once you start getting your own feedback, you can now start making your own iterations depending on what you're seeing.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Sounds good. Thank you.
And then do you have a framework for like getting them on a call? Like is there a framework like you have from like the coaching program or anything
You mean
from
for
like
the
taking them
DM?
from DM to call? Yeah.
If you have anything to share, I'll be open to it, honestly. Because I think again, to your point, that's the biggest challenge is the DM aspect.
So, I guess there's two ways. There's two ways to do this. I can check because I have like some resources. So I can check for you and then I can send that over to you on Instagram. I'll check for
Okay.
like right now
Okay.
and I'll send that to you on Instagram. But usually what you're trying to determine before, there's two ways. Is either you determine if they are qualified from the DM. Or if you
Okay.
want to, like, it depends on how much time you have as well. If you want to fast track it even further, you determine if they are qualified over a quick call, like a quick 5 minutes call. So if you do the quick 5 minutes call, you will get more people. Like you speak to more people much more quicker. But if you do like
Mm-hmm.
the DM qualification, it might take longer because now you have to wait for them to respond back to you, and then do you see what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah. That's why I was asking if it doesn't make sense to like, even if not a sales page, like send them direct to like a booking link. Another thing is in my booking link, I do have some pre-qualification. Like that's another way we could put some pre-qualification data within the booking link so that that way I know if it even makes sense to talk to them at all based on like they can book the call, but then I review the whatever the pre-qualification questions and make a call like, can this person even afford this or are they the right client? But then to your
exactly.
point, we miss out on the data.
Yeah, so yeah, like you want to get the reason why I mentioned like calling them directly is so you can do the same qualification you would do via DM,
Mm,
via the phone. So you can ask them, okay, can you explain your current situation to me right now? How soon are you looking to launch this idea, or how soon are you looking to do this? Are you the one
okay.
making the decision? You can qualify them on the phone, and that way you just compress the timeline of having like back and forth via DM. So yeah, I have like some resources. So I'll look into how like
Okay.
how you can manage that DM conversation.